Hi Scorpio, welcome to the channel and welcome to your reading for October 2023, and happy birthday if you're an October Scorpio. So, to start off, we have the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is a time where you're shifting your identity from what is expected of you and what you actually want. And when you embrace this deeper side of yourself, this creative side of yourself, you're able to bring in a lot of abundance in your life. This is something that, if you've been feeling stuck creatively or with money, or really feeling like you're trying to push for something that's just not coming, really tapping into this creative energy now is really going to create these opportunities for you. And they're not, I feel like if money has been stuck for you, and we have the Hangman here also, and if money has been stuck for you, this is really about your mindset shifting. It's if you've been stuck, it's like you're thinking about how to do things within the box or within the mind frame of how you've always done things, or what how the road is usually gone about achieving financial goals or work goals or things like that. And this mindset shift needs to happen because the path you're on to create abundance is not of that blueprint. It's not of this mundane blueprint, and it's not in the way you're used to thinking about it. It's a much more free flowing, dreamy, creative energy that's going to bring in abundance for you. And it comes from your own creative mind, birthing these projects and creating these ideas and putting yourself out there in this way. And so there's this perspective shift that needs to happen. And you've gone through a lot of changes, especially in your identity. And now you're really ready to assert who you are into the world. And you're releasing a lot of the things that have really bound you to this old paradigm of thinking. So if you were in an industry, or and you're feeling tired and burnt out and you're feeling stuck, and it's this mindset shift. Maybe there was a time where what you were doing brought you a lot of success, and now it's kind of feeling stuck, or you're feeling dissatisfied in it. And it's because you're really being pushed now to create something new, um, through this identity you forged, through this perception shift, and through your dreams. And maybe you think what you've done before was aligned with your dreams, but now it's just not giving the same fulfillment that it used to. And you're entering a whole new paradigm when it comes to money and finances. And the key here is not to focus so much on that blueprint of how you've done things before or what is expected of you to do. Going with either of those mind frames is going to bring you more frustration. You want to shift your perspective and think of things in a more outside of the box way. How can you create what you want and feel that emotional fulfillment? And you want to go towards what aligns with that emotional fulfillment and what And if something is making you feel stuck or you're dreading doing it or whatever the case is, you want to steer clear from that, because it's, if you're feeling dissatisfied, it might be the same thing but in a new environment type of thing, or in a new situation. It's like you're trying to do what has worked for you before, what you thought brought you success before, what you thought brought you fulfillment before, but it keeps leading you into this kind of stalemate energy. So you really want to build through your creativity and really get in touch with that more dreamy side of life, and really realize that you can create the things that you want to create. And the more you do it, the more you'll be able to believe it. Okay, so we have the Strength card here. And this Strength card really speaks to me about how you're going to have Mars entering your sign. And this is really, like I said, you're continuing now to go through a lot of shifts and releasing things that are based on your old beliefs, maybe past wounds, or there's really an emphasis on this identity or this mindset, this fixed mindset that you can have that is kind of keeping you stuck. And you're going through a process, and you have been going through a process of really recreating your life. Your life has changed in a lot of ways, and but this mindset still is lingering. And now you really have the urge to put your ideas out there, to really act, because you have, shifted internally, and even in your outside world has changed. And now it's like you really have the urge to put out this new version of yourself in the world. And that's really what's going to bring you a lot of the abundance that you're seeking right now, is to push yourself out of that old identity, that old paradigm, that old mindset, and put out this new version of you. Allow yourself to explore what it feels like to live in this more creative, this more flowing energy, where you've released a lot of the pains of the past. So this is kind of what you're experimenting with this month, is where you've released a lot of subconscious behaviors, a lot of things that were binding you, and maybe you didn't even realize, or you won't realize until this month, that you are kind of locked into a certain mind frame, and it's really stopping you from bringing your dreams into reality and creating new projects or enjoying what you're creating. So as you move through this month, there's really, the more that you're willing to be bold and act on this new way of being, the more that you can receive a lot of these opportunities, and the more that you can play with this mindset shift, even if you don't believe fully that it's true. Really playing with that mindset shift, playing with creativity, playing with having fun instead of having any rigidity, is going to bring a lot of opportunities, and it's going to open you up and move you out of this stuck energy. And this is really a different kind of strength. Now, there's maybe a stubbornness that can come along with it, but there's also a different kind of strength that comes with being able to be emotionally fulfilled, to be in a creative state, to be having fun with what you're doing, and to just play with that mindset throughout this month and experiment with new things and start building new things from this energy, from this Empress energy, is going to really bring you a lot of opportunities, as I said. So, Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. And yeah, that's just it. There's really an opportunity now for, as you shed a lot of old parts of yourself and you enter into this new identity, so to speak, you're entering this new mindset. And at the same time, there, through opening yourself up to this, you're going to receive a lot more opportunities in your environment, because when Pluto is moving direct now, the things that we've been building up to over the past few months are going to start to take form in the material world, and you will see things in your environment. You will see evidence of this abundance. You will see evidence of things really coming together and working out. And really, it's just a lot of opportunities for abundance. It's a lot of opportunities for you to start building your life in the direction that you've been waiting for it to go, but you couldn't quite figure it out. And the missing piece is really this illumination and this release of a lot of uh, aspects of yourself that were hidden to you, a lot of mindsets that were hidden to you, a lot of paradigms in your relationship so you might not have realized were playing out. And it's like, when you can recognize these things, release them, and experiment and play with shifting your mindset and play with your creativity and start to build the things that you want. And again, building the work that you want and building the life that you want, and it's not coming from this old blueprint. What's worked before isn't going to work now. It's entering this flow state where you're able to perceive opportunities in a different way. You're able to see different opportunities. You're able to open your mind to different creative pathways that weren't available to you before, because these subconscious and otherwise belief systems or whatever habits, whatever it is, that were blocking you without you even realizing it. And as you release these things, you're going to open yourself up and you're going to really have a lot of new beginnings in your environment, in your external world. And it's all from realizing that, like, you are really creating this. This is from you really, it's really the power of your manifestation. Like that Empress and the Ace of Pentacles is, and even the Ace of Cups is so, it's so powerful because it's you really creating what you want. And finally, when you open yourself up to that, it's like all the blockages are removed and the door to abundance just opens up to you. And you see evidence of that in the external as you put yourself out there, as you don't shy away from saying, this is actually how I want to do things now. I'm not going to do what I expected of myself before, what was expected of me, or what has traditionally been done. I'm going to do it this way. And the more bold you are about that, the more people that are aligned with what you're doing want to come in and help you. And this Three of Pentacles here really signifies to me that this is really your manifestations coming down into the material world, and you starting to see the results of everything kind of falling into place after a long time of being stuck. And so this is really like the doorway of manifestation opening to you through the release of the subconscious mind, through the release of habits, behaviors, mindsets, and opening yourself up. So the Chariot, the Five of Wands. So this is a time now where you also really, there's like this sense of this bold energy, and you are able to attract a lot of people that resonate with you. But because this is eclipse season and we're going through a lot of releasing, we're going through a lot of shifts, and as you put yourself out there and you're really living the way you want to live, and it's very outside of the box, it's very ethereal, and not shying away from putting yourself out there, this can really clash and create conflicts. And it's important to know when to walk away from certain relationships, when it's like, okay, I have shifted my mindset and I'm in this Empress energy. I'm creating what I want to create finally. I finally understand the missing piece to this. And there can be people that try to really pull you back from that, people that maybe don't take you seriously, or publicly, there could be like this sense of jealousy, of competition with you and things of that nature. And or people just not getting you, like you're taking something really seriously, but because it's so ethereal and it's something that you are creating from within and you are slowly changing into, other people can't really understand it. And this can cause a lot of conflicts. You might feel very disillusioned by people in your life once you have this shift. It's like, why are it's like, this seems so obvious to me now, this idea of like all these pathways seem so clear to me now, and you're trying to explain it to others and they're just not getting it, and you might become very disillusioned with people in your life. And so it's important to know who is going to grow with you and who is not, and really having the strength to walk away. And because you're really like, that Chariot card is really you going on the path you need to go on, and you're succeeding, like it's like this epiphany you have where you're like, suddenly I figured it out, and you have this mindset shift and you're ready to go. And then there's the disillusionment with others, there's the facing the backlash of what can happen, or even competition. And when speaking about competition, they're really, on the outside it can seem like there is a competitive element to this, but really, because you're coming from such a place of higher understanding, it's like you don't even notice that there's really this element of competition, because you are very much in your own lane and really able to just blow past or disregard anybody trying to pull you back or fight with you. And yeah, so this is about really, who is going to work well with you, who is not, and being willing to release the partnerships that aren't working, because you're trying to build something from a higher perspective. And if people don't understand that, then it's just not going to work out. But it's really not too big of a deal, because once you have this epiphany and you have this mindset shift, you're very much on your way. And once you start seeing the evidence of this, of your reality changing, then you're really unstoppable at that point, because it's like you're finally getting all these things that you really hoped for, and everything really starts feeling like it's falling into place, as we come out of the month going into your season. It's like everything feels like it's falling into place. And it's also a lot about your individuality, and a lot of what has held you back is your relationships to other people in some way, shape, or form, whether it's people that have hurt you in the past, or beliefs about people and how things work, how relationships work, and what your role is in those relationships, that have kind of blindsided you to a degree. And this is really about releasing all those expectations, releasing these belief systems that have held you back in some way, and moving into your own individuality and allowing yourself to be who you want to be, without the expectations, without the old blueprint for success, without the old blueprint of how things should be done. And I feel like a lot of you, to a certain extent, don't even really see that this is an issue, but that's the thing. It's like these are really deep things that have kind of been operating in the background, that have been blindsiding you, that are coming to the surface, so that you can move fully into your individuality through building a life that's on your terms, not because somebody else pushed you into it, or because you're pushing against an idea, or whatever the case is. It's simply because you are creating this out of your fulfillment, out of, the ethereal into reality. And that is it. It's all about your personal fulfillment. It's not about combating ideas. It's not about something somebody else said or taught you, through an experience a long time ago, shaping how you do things. It's not about, like I said earlier, it's not about your past success. Is that blueprint might not work anymore. And it's really about coming into your own without any of those belief systems bouncing around. It's just you creating what you want to have this emotional fulfillment. And the last card that came out is the Queen of Pentacles, and that's really this, that really says it all. Like, in the first part of this month, you're really creating that, you're having this mindset shift, you're allowing the doors of abundance to kind of open, and you go through all this process of really starting to build, starting to understand how things are going to get off the ground, understanding who's there and who's not, and you come out on the end of this really completely in that creative power, in really enjoying this abundance, being fulfilled, and not because you had to react and respond to any beliefs or opinions or push back against anything. It's just what you wanted to do and what you want your life to be and what you want to put out into the world. All right, guys, that's what I have for you this month. Thank you for watching. If you would like a personal reading, I will link it into the description below, and I will see you next time.